Hello guys, it is me, AJ, and I'm here with a short tutorial for you on terms of my power plants. This is a request of one of my watchers. He's asked, can you give me a tutorial of the Mark II? Now, unfortunately, I had lost the Mark II world that had it on, so what I'm actually going to do is show you around the Mark III and show you some tips and tricks, and then what I'll do at a later date when I get more time is I'll build a scale Mark II replica and give you a tutorial on that as I build it. But for now we'll just go around here. So first of all, tips are wiring groups. I'm using red power. I'm pretty sure if you go back and watch the video, it has the minor tutorial showing you how to wire up with normal redstone, but I use red power now because red power is a lot more effective. Have the have the pipes go into a middle section of the engines, okay? At least this is for the Mark III, how the Mark III is wired up. Right? Have things, as I would use the word, congregate. So all the power meets in the middle before it goes somewhere else, okay? So that is my first tutorial tip. Have the power transport to pipes, sorry, can't seem to think today for some reason. Meet in roughly the middle. On the Mark II, they all met in a corner. Right, they all congregated in a corner. And when I build the Mark II, I'll show you that. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'm going to be able to build one yet. Okay, so have all the pipes split off from one point. So have the engine split off in groups. So this is the middle section, this is the left section, this is the right section. And sorry about that. Trying to keep the pipes in a group. As you can see, when they split off, they're all in a line, top, middle, bottom. Okay. Separating, make sure that you use different pipes for different things, and use iron pipes. They're very useful at controlling the flow. Like here, I've got one just before it goes into the engines. That's so if there is too much fuel, it will just filter through the system, eventually finding an engine that needs more fuel. Because if say red circuit's full of fuel, it might filter around to green or blue. Okay. Gold pipe. Use gold pipe as much as possible for the water. Definitely useful. It'll help make it last a lot longer. Gold holds a lot more water. I was told this by someone commented on one of my videos, and I'm very thankful. I can't remember the name at the minute, but if I do in the next video, I will give them a big shout out. So if you know who you are, thank you very much for that tip. And then use cobblestone to actually go into the engines themselves, because all this water, one of these can fill about 3 of these, I believe. As you can see here, that's full, and these are all full as well. So yeah, try and make sure you keep engines in groups. Don't have them all come on at once. You want to be able to filter. The idea of this is I can turn one on, then another, and then another, and I can rotate it. Okay. Also, definitely use gold energy transport pipes. I know it's going to be hard because, especially in the non-creative mode, you've got to find the gold to use it, but it is useful and it helps the energy go a lot further. Excuse my voice. Next tip, have emergency tanks of water. If your power doesn't reach your pumps, you're going to need it. Especially this. I've got a large amount, and that will filter out and then join the main track. Excuse me, for some reason I've got the hiccups. Okay. Next tip, don't be afraid to have a smaller power plant to do stuff. I mean, I've still got this model built. I mean, I need to fill the oil tanks and get it running again because it ran out of fuel. It's a bit silly of me because it ran out of oil. But I was using it to create extra fuel for the Mark II the Mark III while I was getting it fixed. So that's my tip there. Trying to think what else. I've found that this design is quite effective when I hopefully get it all obsidianized, because I want to encase at least the engine blocks themselves in obsidian and the front section in glass. The idea is I can then work on moving everything closer. At the minute everything's spaced out, as you can see, or it's all the way over there. but hopefully when that's done I can get it moved a bit closer and that'll save the energy. So distance is a big thing to consider, because with distance comes energy loss. I know I had someone comment when they asked for the tutorial, they said they're having trouble with their energy consumption, which is a small problem. Other tips to say, don't be afraid to have the controls to your engines near their engines, because the best thing is if the engine's going to explode, one engine might explode and take out the switch. I know that sounds a bit daft, but that's how my Mark II was done. Other things are, don't always try and make sure you've got a large amount of water. I mean, as you can see, I have actually got 2 groups of 8 or 4 groups of 4 pumps wired up into groups of 8 or subgroups of 2, and then they're all linked together, and that goes into the tanks and the main system. So always have a pipe that puts the water directly into the engines and one that splits off and goes into the tanks. Next tip, even if you're not connected your oil to any oil pumps at all, leave a sticking out there, and the reason for that is you want to connect whatever you do here, or here, or underneath, right? You want it connected all up, and the idea is, sorry, trying to get comfortable in this flipping annoying seat. It's really annoying. You'll want to connect it to here, and this lets you know where you should connect any pumps you get to. So you see, there's 2 out there. I started pumping them, but then the one on the left, Spotchy, started to pump water by accident, so I destroyed that entirely, and I made a little oil well here, and as you can see, it was big, and then I've drained the dang thing, and I've slowly turned that into oil. Next tip, have your oil, refinery and fuel close together as possible. Okay, I know in the Mark II I had the oil tank, then the fuel tank, then the refinery, and then all the liquids in one area. I'm going to do that again when I obsidianize this entire structure and have it fixed. Right? But I will build a Mark II. I'm going to clear an area over there to get it built. Okay. Other tips for things like the refineries and water, have all the engines that will pump the water out linked together. You want to just flick a switch. Right? As you can see, yeah, I'm using red power too, so it's a bit easier, but you want to have... Oh, fuss. I always get interrupted by something. You want to have them all wired together so they all start pumping out at the same time, because dispersal logic in this game, I don't quite understand how it works, but it will just start putting oil in the middle and then work its way out. So the middle is always going to be the most full, but you'll want it pumping out from all sections. And again, use iron pipe. Decide where you're going to have the oil, where the refined fuel come out, and then you alter the iron. The only ones you don't need iron on are this edge one and, well, the 2 outer edges, because they can only go one way. And then have that happen, okay? Go away! I'm trying to do a show. Annoying cow. I'll beat you up with redstone. Right. Again, I try to use odd numbers. I know it's weird, but I use odd numbers because then there's a middle. Especially in tanks, you know, so all of them are odd numbers. A lot of people would say that's a bit stupid, but in terms of refineries, tanks, and I would say use odd numbers because it just works a lot better. I use even numbers in the engines because it's easy to keep track of, and you want to have a middle between the engines, like so. You can see how I've got the thing this wired up. Water comes in here, power out there, fuel in here. Okay, and the idea is that the fuel will come in, go out, and then diverse up and along, and the water comes in and diverses out and along. As you can see, the water is pretty much full, so I'm producing enough energy to keep water pumped in the system. That is with all the engines on. How with all 3 groups on, I'm thinking I need to maybe expand it slightly. But for the moment, I think groups of, 2 rows of 8 is more than sufficient for one group. When I compact everything closer, it will probably be better. what we'll probably do is move the pumps over here, move the water tanks in a bit, move the oil in, and then move the fuel in, and then the refineries will be closer. And that way, everything, the power requirements will be a lot less taxing on the engines. I will get a tutorial up of building the Mark II for those who want it, and hopefully I'll get that done during the week. I've got a few things to sort out, but as far as I'm concerned, I will do my best. I'll get a proper tutorial done using new red power with the Mark II if I ever get the chance. So do be patient, guys, and this is AJ signing out.